Hey, how's it going, viewers of YouTube? If you don't know by now, my name is Tyler of Chico Crypto, and you know the drill. Grab a cold one, crack it open, and relax, because it's time for crypto and, of course, a German cold one. Today's featured brewski is supplied once again by Chico Army member Dirk. It comes from Paulaner Muchen Brewery. It's their Paulaner Zwickel or something. No idea where it's out of, just Germany. That's all I know. There's just a bunch of German words. Someone let me know in the comments. Oh, there's a copper right there. Put that down. Oh, that's not a copper, that's a parking person. So if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, if you want the most recent crypto news and updates, follow me on Twitter @Chico Crypto and join the chat on Telegram. t.me/ChicoCrypto1. So I've been getting a ton of inquiries from the community lately. Do you still like NEO? Is NEO dead? What don't you like about NEO? So today let me be as transparent as possible and tell you guys my personal feelings about NEO and its vision of the smart economy. The number one question, do I still like NEO? Yes, of course I still like NEO, or I wouldn't still be holding nearly 20% of my portfolio in it. I told you guys, if I ever dump NEO, the channel will be the first to know. There are things I like and I don't like. Let me explain the things I like right now. NEO smart contracts and the NEO virtual machine. Why? NEO smart contracts are deterministic. What does this mean? With NEO, a program always produces the same output on the basis of a given input on different computers, or in this case, nodes which contain the NEO virtual machine. This is deterministic. Smart contracts run on multiple nodes in a blockchain network. So if a smart contract is undeterministic, the consistency of multiple nodes and the consensus between them would be difficult or can't be achieved, leading to a stagnant, unscalable network. How do smart contracts become non-deterministic? Number one, calling on certain system functions that are non-deterministic in nature, like system time acquiring functions. Number two, calling on non-deterministic data sources, like Google search rankings for differing IPs. And number three, dynamic calls, which is a situation when a program calls a second program. This can only be determined when running. Now, Ethereum provides the ability to run dynamic calls, which could potentially render the call route of the contract non-deterministic. Fortunately, the data that is accessible to the contract is deterministic in nature, which ensures all nodes acquire the same target address when running a dynamic call. System consistency is ensured, but these non-deterministic call routes will cause significant performance loss on scalability. Why? It is impossible to predict the behaviors and paths of the Ethereum smart contracts before executing codes. Thus, it is also impossible to know which state records the smart contracts will edit. This is a major factor into why Ethereum will have a tough time scaling, especially as more complex contracts are executed. Take, for example, this picture. Deterministic is a straight flow with a final decision, accept or reject. And with non-determinism, you have a web of complexity, branching off, and nodes could have two differing consensus. One would accept, one would reject. This causes the clogs. NEO currently only has static calls, meaning the call target is not specified during runtime. This allows the behavior of the program to be fully determined before execution, leading to higher performance and scalability. There are proposals for dynamic calls with NEO NEP4, which are being examined thoroughly before implementation because of how dynamic calls can limit scalability. Another reason is the flexibility of the NEO virtual machine and smart contracts, or the low coupling design. This means there is a low level of dependency between the smart contracts blockchain and external data. This is achieved through the interoperable service layer of the NEO VM. A result of this, most upgrades to smart contract functions are achieved through the expanding APIs of this service layer. These NEO contracts APIs are shown here and include runtime information, ledger data, storage, smart contract management, and digital assets. Ethereum has a high coupling design. The Ethereum virtual machine depends on the ETH blockchain, and vice versa. Calculations of fees are mixed with the logic execution. The instruction set of the EVM contains instructions used to visit ledger data, and the EVM directly provides a constant storage instruction that is based on the blockchain ledger. This is not wise to mix execution logic of the blockchain with VMs. To modify the blockchain, you will have to upgrade the EVM by adding more instructions to them. Also, this means EVMs will be difficult to be transferred to other blockchain systems, unless the blockchain architecture is highly similar, limiting the use of the EVM. A little complex and even over my head a bit, but from my research there is explicit benefits of NEO smart contracts and their virtual machine over Ethereum smart contracts and its virtual machine. Now, how about the question, is NEO dead? Well, this is an easy question to answer, since all you need to do is go to the NEO repository GitHub and check out the commits. Just this week, there have been 7 commits to the code, and then we compare that with Litecoin. Only 1 commit this week. How about EOS? An equal 7 commits. Let's expand out and look over the past year. Commits are coming in and increasing. And then we compare that with Litecoin, who had a lot of commits early in the year, but since has had not much. EOS, who had a ton of commits early and through the middle of the year because they are building their platform, which makes sense, but since then they have been dropping like a fly. This is something I will be keeping an eye on, as NEO has communities all over the world. Brazil, Europe, China, Japan, and now Russia. Commits and development should continue to increase with the release of NEO 3.0 down the road. So no, NEO isn't dead. Or we should be seeing 0 commits, as people have abandoned the project and moved on to other things. Also, you just need to look at the change logs to NEO to see what is being built. They tell you all of this on GitHub. And here's a summary of the last two. 2.91 released in October and 2.9.2 released in November. Now, the juicy stuff. What I don't like about NEO. I don't like what is going down with Ontology and how they are trying to make the two completely different entities. De Hongfei is the CEO of Onchain, which is the company that incubated Ontology. De Hongfei is also the co-chair of NEO, with Eric Zhang as the other chair member. Then if we check out Eric Zhang's LinkedIn, it states he is the CTO of Onchain, with no reference to NEO. Why this pisses me the fuck off is this. Because the early AntShares ICO raised in 2015. As we know, AntShares rebranded to NEO. They raised 2100 BTC. They were able to incept some things like Onchain, as seen here from their Bitcoin announcement thread posted on July 7th, 2016 from guess who? De Hongfei himself. He said the development team will also run a separate company called Onchain that will serve as a marketing and consulting entity for AntShares. So you're telling me because of the funds raised from your early ICO, you're able to create Onchain. Onchain and Ontology should be a subsidiary of NEO, not separate entities. This needs to be cleared up, specifically how NEO and Ontology will cooperate and benefit each other, because as of right now, they seem like competitors. DA has said that this is a community project, and the community is driving it forward, while all the Chinese devs who should be working on NEO have migrated to Ontology. Well, if that is the case, then that 50 million NEO should not be in the hands of you and NEO Global Capital to make you guys more money. Not one NEO has been handed out for community competitions. Only gas. And if we look at the wallet, 15 million NEO are gone. Where the fuck did those go? To what people, what projects, were they in the NEO ecosystem, and why or why not? In the last AMA with De Hongfei and Eric Zhang, this was asked too. How about some transparency from NEO Global Capital? De Hongfei answered the NGC report will be published in Q3 and continue. Transparency is a priority in Q3 and Q4. I wish NEO's community will be proud when talking about NEO's transparency by the end of the year. Well, it's the end of the year and still no report. If things are bad and NGC spent 15 million NEO on projects outside of the NEO ecosystem, then tell us and do something to make up for it. Like give 15 million NEO to the community who has been busting their asses to keep this project alive. Rant over. Cheers, viewers, and I'll see you next time.